My beloved child, as November unfolds like a fresh book, each page turned by the invisible hand of the Creator, do you realize you're stepping into a season orchestrated long before the dawn of creation? It is no coincidence that you are still here, breathing and yearning for truth amidst a world full of noise and chaos. I have marked this sacred moment on the divine time linear, moment when the invisible gate between heaven and earth is opening, and you are the one I have called to step through this gate with courage, your eyes anointed to clearly see what others cannot. My child, November arrives not to frighten you, but to awaken the things that have long slept within your soul. You have dreamed of closeness with me, whispered prayers in the darkness, and longed for a voice amidst your confusion. Now, all these are converging, for this month is when I weave answers with the invisible threads of providence. Don't think you stumbled upon these words by chance, for I myself have led you here, just as I once led Moses to the burning bush that was not consumed, calling him into a mission of liberation, Exodus 3. I am igniting something similar within you, calling you cannot refuse. My child, perhaps your heart is filled with unanswered questions, anxieties about the future, or wounds yet to heal. But know this, these do not distance you from me. Instead, they are the very starting points for a deeper encounter between us. I seek not perfect souls, but hearts willing to open up honestly in weakness. Fear not your fragility, for in your weakest moments, my strength will be perfected. Remember Paul's words, for when I am weak, then I am strong. 2 Corinthians 12:10. I am searching for surrender, not self-reliance. Throughout this month, you will sense an inner stirring subtle, without thunder or lightning, but rather a holy current deep within your soul. It is me, the one who speaks not through fierce winds or earthquakes, but through the gentle whisper Elijah heard on Mount Horeb, 1 Kings 19. I'm reminding you that true holiness isn't found in grandeur, but in daily, faithful simplicity. When you choose prayer over complaint, forgiveness over resentment, quiet trust over anxiety, this is when you step into the movement of my kingdom. This month will not be easy. You will witness seemingly stable things start to shake. Some people will turn away, plans will fail, and doors will close abruptly. Instead of lamenting, ask me, Lord, what path are you clearing? For sometimes, building something new requires tearing down the old. Just as I brought down Jericho's walls, so my people could possess their promised land, Joshua 6. I am dismantling unseen walls in your life, invisible limitations holding you back from entering your destined season. Be steadfast, for nothing happens outside my permission. Even your tears are recorded by me, Psalm 56:8. Nothing is wasted, not losses, failure, nor times of falling. I'm using all to mold you into my image. Each pain is a cut on your gemstone, and when my light shines upon you, these facets will radiate an undeniable glory. Do not compare your journey with others. I never write the same story twice. You are an original, uniquely crafted according to heaven's design. This month, I will also bring seemingly coincidental opportunities, yet these are heavenly appointments. Perhaps it's a meeting, a phone call, or just an idea arising during prayer. If you remain spiritually attentive, you will see my fingerprints upon these moments. I am sharpening your spiritual discernment so you won't miss your destiny encounters. Don't let worldly busyness steal your sacred moments. Spend time listening, noting, and praying even through the smallest details, for therein lies the profound. Remember, nothing you possess is unshakable except my presence and promises. The universe itself may pass away, but my words remain. I promised, though mountains move and hills shift, my steadfast love will never depart from you. Isaiah 54:10. Amid global anxiety and upheaval this month, cling to my words as an anchor in the storm. Your destiny is not determined by surrounding events, but by the one who dwells within you. November is a season of renewed covenant. I desire not merely to walk alongside you, but to establish a deeper covenant rooted not in success or emotion, but faithfulness and trust. When you offer your whole heart to me, I will open doors that human strength cannot open. Step into this month, not with fear but with confident hope, my beloved child. As you journey deeper into November, you will distinctly sense that the old is making way for an irreversible transformation. This is the season in which I shake the foundations of the world, allowing you to clearly discern the true basis upon which you are building your life. Things that once provided a sense of stability will begin to feel vague. Those things you once clung to for security will no longer hold your heart firmly. But, dear one, this is not punishment. Rather, it is part of the renewal I am working within your soul. I cannot pour new wine into old wineskins, Mark 2:22. Nor can I bestow new grace if you cling tightly to things no longer suitable for the season you are entering. You will see the world around you becoming unstable, and your mind may easily be pulled into waves of fear, doubt, or confusion. There will be days when you awaken feeling unsure of where to start, uncertain of what you are doing, and puzzled as to why everything seems chaotic. In those moments, I invite you to step back, withdraw from the tumultuous currents of the world, and enter the secret place of my presence. Like Mary, who chose to sit at Jesus' feet rather than busy herself with worries like Martha, Luke 10:38-42, I am calling you to abandon the hurried pace of life to choose what is better, something that will not be taken away from you. I understand you are wrestling with unseen things. You may not always be able to name the unease in your heart, yet you feel it. This is the vibration of the spiritual atmosphere, a heavenly warning that something is drawing near. And indeed, you are not mistaken. In heaven, a plan is unfolding. Angels are being dispatched. Critical moments are being arranged, and I am marking those who are ready to step into their roles. Are you among them? Are you willing to let go of all that hinders to embrace your true purpose in this pivotal time? Beloved, November is not a month to react emotionally, but one for clear discernment. You will see two distinct paths appear. On one side is my voice, quiet yet persuasive, calling you to authenticity, humility, and trust in my providence. On the other side are alluring invitations from the world, promising ease, quick paths, and appealing yet empty words. You must choose. You cannot walk both paths simultaneously. You cannot cling to your own will while pursuing my guidance. Remember, your faith is not built on feelings. True faith does not need sight to believe, nor audible evidence to act. It stands firm amidst darkness, knowing the light is near, even when it cannot be seen. Be like Abraham, who followed my voice without knowing where he was going, Hebrews 11:8. He is the model of the people I seek in this month, those willing to set out without a map, assured only of my presence alongside them. You may feel lonely, for not everyone understands what I am doing within you. Not everyone sees value in waiting, praying, and offering oneself fully, but do not let isolation discourage you. When Noah built the ark amidst ridicule, he had no companions besides his family and my guidance, Genesis 6:7. Yet his quiet obedience saved humanity. Do not seek affirmation from the world, for what I am building in you surpasses human understanding. Prepare yourself in the coming days for a collision, not calamity, but an encounter between light and darkness, truth and deception, life and empty facades. The outer world will reflect the battle within you. Hidden things will come to light. Compromises once considered minor will become clear, not for shame, but for my purification and renewal through the living power of my Spirit. Let this month become your altar, not one of wood or stone, but an altar where your heart is presented as a living and holy sacrifice, Romans 12:1. From this place, I will ignite a new flame, faith that circumstances cannot quench, love unbound by comprehension, vision not choked by anxiety. Remember, what you offer will never be forgotten by me. I see what is hidden, and my reward for faithfulness exceeds all you can imagine. My dear child, November is a month of purification, yet following purification comes elevation. After rain, the harvest. After tears, joyful singing. Do not fear feeling stripped bare, for it is in vulnerability that you will receive true power from above. I never begin what I do not intend to complete. I never lead you into the fire without intending to stay there with you. And I never bring you out of the old without readiness to grant you something new, good, stable, and everlasting. I understand the invisible pressure weighing on your soul, not physical pain, nor merely external events, but something heavy emerging from within. It is not punishment, but a knock of urgency, a heavenly alarm. I call you out from familiar places where comfort has led to spiritual complacency. You have long remained in old cycles. Bound by limitations, you accept it as normal. Now, I say, enough. It is time to step out. Though your legs tremble and your heart feels uncertain, you once desired breakthrough, prayed earnestly for change. But when it arrives as trials and pruning, you doubt. You wonder, is this really the answer? Yes. Beloved, sometimes my gifts come not wrapped brightly, but hidden within adversity, like Joseph, sold into slavery and forgotten in prison, yet that path led him to authority and honor, Genesis 37:41. You are likewise in preparation for something greater. Do not let cloudy days erase the truth that I have designed a good outcome from the beginning. You will witness a change in the relationships around you. Some who were once close will gradually drift apart, not because you did anything wrong, but because I am purifying your sphere of influence. I am separating toxic bonds and connections that are merely emotional, making room for the sacred connections I intend to establish. Remember, even Jesus did not always keep all of his disciples close. Sometimes, he only took Peter, James, and John up the mountain to witness his glory, Mark 9:2. Likewise, I do not allow everyone into the deepest parts of your life. Certain spiritual layers are reserved only for those whom I have chosen to walk with you through glory and trials. Do not grieve when you see doors closing. It could be a job you hoped for, an opportunity you believed was yours, or a relationship into which you poured your heart. My child, I never close a door without preparing another to open. And my door does not lead to confined rooms, but to vast spaces where you can fully embrace the destiny I have ordained. Just as I led Abram out of his narrow homeland into the promised land, Genesis 12:1-3, I am calling you out of your comfort zone to a place where you will become something you never dared to imagine. This November, voices from the world will rise louder than ever, coming through media, public opinion, and negative words from others. They will attempt to pull your mind away from the foundations of faith and truth. But I urge you to keep your heart pure. Do not allow anything to sow doubt regarding my word. Do not let the whispers of the enemy ignite panic within you. You were not created to live by news, but by heaven's promises, and my promises remain unchanging, no matter how turbulent the world becomes. Now is the time to place your complete trust in no half-hearted faith, nor wavering belief, but complete trust, like a child who fearlessly surrenders into the arms of their father. I am your father, and I never withdraw my hand when you need help. In the wilderness, I made water flow from the rock, provided manna from heaven, and preserved my people's sandals for 40 years, Deuteronomy 29:5. Would I now abandon you amidst difficult days? No. I do not change like shifting shadows, James 1:17. I am always faithful. You will feel a stronger urge to pray, not out of obligation, but because your heart will naturally yearn for me. Let your prayers become a stream that washes away all anxiety and negativity accumulated over time. Pray not only for yourself, but for your family, community, and nation. This month, I am listening with special attentiveness. Your prayers will not vanish into emptiness. They will rise like incense before my throne, and I will answer in ways you cannot yet imagine. Beloved child, do not resist the spiritual changes stirring within you. Instead, yield to them. Follow the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Even if you do not yet see the whole picture, I am leading you to a new level of intimacy with me, increased spiritual discernment, and the power of obedience. Everything I do today is not merely for your present benefit, but to prepare you for roles you will assume in the seasons to come. This is a time of building strong roots so that when great winds blow, you will stand firm, not retreating in fear, but advancing in trust. My child, as November deepens into days steeped in significance, you will recognize this is not merely a natural cycle, but a divinely orchestrated moment. Historical movements, the flow of circumstances, and spiritual rhythms are converging into a melody never heard before. You are not a passive spectator watching events unfold. You are a musician invited by me to harmonize with heaven's rhythm. You are an integral part of this symphony, irreplaceable and essential. I know you might carry lingering worries, unanswered questions, or doors not yet opened as you expected. But let me affirm this: nothing you face is meaningless. No circumstance arrives without my prior knowledge. All of it is part of my refining process, not merely purifying but renewing you. My child, just as gold is refined by fire and silver purified 7 times, Psalm 12:6. I am using this month to cleanse everything no longer suitable, so you may step into a season where spiritual light shines brighter than ever. You will find yourself at a crossroads. One path may seem convenient, smooth, and easy. The other narrow, steep, and uncertain. But you cannot take both paths. Now is the time I require you to choose not by intellectual calculation, but by faith. I measure your growth not by outward success, but by your willingness to trust when the way is unclear. Like Abraham, who left his homeland not knowing where he was going, Hebrews 11:8. I am inviting you on a journey without a map, yet you are not alone. I go before you. I am the way. Beloved child, November will be a month of revelations. Certain things that were previously hidden in your heart, in your relationships, and even in the deeper layers of society will come into the light. This revelation is not intended to condemn, but rather to heal. I do not wish for you to dwell in darkness any longer. Truth might cause temporary pain, but it also provides the key to freedom. When Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free," John 8:32, he was speaking not only of knowledge, but of a living encounter with me, who is truth itself. Prepare your heart, for I will guide you to confront yourself, not to condemn, but to illuminate. For many years, you have carried burdens without name, wounds, anger, comparison, and even self-blame. This month, I will gently peel away each piece of armor you've worn to conceal your pain. I will invite you to lay each layer down, replacing them with robes of righteousness and garments of joy, instead of ashes of regret, Isaiah 61:3. This is the season when you reclaim the true identity I gave you from the beginning, not lost, not forgotten, but chosen, loved, and entrusted. In November, don't be surprised if you feel a strong urge to distance yourself from daily noise. That prompting comes from me. I am calling you into the secret place, not to escape the world, but to be strengthened. Just as Elijah entered the cave on Mount Horeb and heard my voice note in the wind, earthquake, or fire, but in a gentle whisper, 1 Kings 19. I want you to learn to listen to my voice in silence. This month, strength will not come through debates, but through quiet moments before me. True power lies not in loudness, but in quiet obedience. This is also a time when I will rebuild what was broken. Perhaps it's a dream you've buried, a calling you've forgotten, or a relationship you thought beyond repair. Yet, I am the one who revives dry bones, who makes deserts bloom, and transforms brokenness into new beauty. If you willingly bring your broken pieces to me, I will craft something more beautiful than you could imagine. I am not afraid of your cracks, for through them my light shines out to the world. Beloved child, know that November isn't the end, but the beginning of a new heavenly realm. Doors of heaven are opening not for those outwardly strong, but for the surrendered, humble hearts ready to say, "Here I am. Lord, send me," Isaiah 6:8. Now is the time to courageously step into the role I have long prepared for you. Past seasons have trained and refined you. Now rise not shouting, but deeply assured that I am with you, and nothing can oppose what I have established. My dear child, as the shift in heavenly realms begins to impact the physical world this month, you will feel a profound struggle between light and darkness, not just externally, but within your own heart. I say this not to frighten you, but to awaken and prepare you. No one enters battle unarmed. Now, you are called to stand firm, not with weapons, but with faith, wisdom, and steadfastness in truth. I am equipping you not only to survive this season, but to walk powerfully through its turbulence. The shaking will not be confined merely to external circumstances. Many around you will experience inner stirrings, questioning their values, purposes, and even their faith. Some will come to you seeking the peace they sense around you, wondering how you maintain calmness, gentle speech, and perseverance amidst chaos. In such moments, remember that this peace isn't yours to keep alone. You are called to be a flowing stream, receiving and pouring forth. Child, this is your moment to be a lamp placed on a stand, not hidden under a basket. Matthew 5:15. You don't need to shout or show off, simply stand firm in the stability I provide. Others will recognize in you something they cannot find elsewhere, the vibrant presence of me. That very thing will draw them toward the light. November is the season when hearts yearning for truth will gravitate towards carriers of my light. Yet it is also a time when the enemy seeks to obscure that light through doubt, anxiety, and distractions. Guard your heart diligently, for from it flows the wellspring of life. Proverbs 4:23. Child, this is not a time to live by rote patterns. It is a time for revelation. What worked in previous seasons may not suit this one. Good habits that once supported you must now deepen into profound obedience. Half-heartedness has no place here. I am calling forth a generation out of the temporary safety of logic and into the boldness of faith. You were not created to imitate others, but to follow the unique design I placed within you. This November, I will unfold pages in the book of your life, clarifying your role in this moving history. There will be moments when you feel unable to continue, weary from standing firm while others compromise. Remember, your strength does not come from yourself but from me. When you feel weakest, my power is most fully displayed. Like Jehoshaphat facing a far greater army, he fought not with military strategy, but with praise and surrender. 2 Chronicles 20. Victory was secured not by human strength, but by my hand. Likewise, learn to fight through worship, prayer, and patient perseverance. My child, this month, I will awaken within you dreams that were once buried. Perhaps you once believed that I called you toward something significant, but circumstances, hurt, or failure caused you to falter. Now, I am reviving those dreams not so you may strive by your own flesh, but so you can partner with the Holy Spirit in a divinely guided season of action. New ideas will emerge, new doors will open, and you must be ready to step through. Yet, remember this, not every open door is from me. You must learn discernment through my word, through prayer, and through the deep peace of your spirit. Beloved, guard your mind carefully. This month, the voice of the enemy will be more subtle than ever. He won't approach with loud roars, but rather with whispers, half-truths, and suggestions causing you to doubt what I have spoken. He will whisper that you are inadequate, that you are lagging behind, or that you have been abandoned. Remind your heart, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. I have covered you in the blood covenant, a covenant unbreakable by human failures or the attacks of darkness. My child, November is the season when my voice will resonate more clearly if you are willing to be still. Not in the world's clamor, but in the quiet early mornings when everything remains silent, in the moments when you shut off devices and open your heart to me. The small revelations I grant in these moments will guide you through life's major crossroads. Do not underestimate these quiet times, for they are where I author your destiny, my beloved child. As November progresses and cosmic shifts occur, there is something vital I need you to understand. Upheaval is not always a sign of failure. Often, it is within chaos that I write a new chapter. You cannot gauge my work by the tranquility of circumstances. There are times I intentionally shake your foundations to awaken your spirit. Just as I shook the ground beneath Paul and Silas in the prison, Acts 16, not to destroy them, but to open doors and break chains, I am doing likewise for you. What seems like crisis is actually my intervention to remove limits that have bound you for too long. This month will be a period of spiritual separation. You will feel pulled away from familiar things, perhaps a group of people, a habit, or a mindset that has shaped you over many years. But, dear child, if these things no longer reflect my glory, they cannot accompany you into the new season. I do not separate to hurt you, but to free you. Just as Abraham had to part ways with Lot to enter the promised land, Genesis 13. I call you out of old associations so you can clearly see the horizon I have prepared for you. This separation will not be easy. There will be tears and nostalgia. Yet remember, I never remove anything without purpose. I foresee what you cannot. I know the crossroads, dangers, and delays hidden within the things you cling to so tightly. November is a season of discernment. You must sincerely ask, does this come from me? Does this relationship draw you closer to me? Does this action build or tear down what I am cultivating in you? And if the answer is no, you must have the courage to let go, even if it seems reasonable to the world. My child, when I call you to separate, it is not toward loneliness but intimacy. I do not draw you from the noise to place you into emptiness, but so you can hear my voice clearly. In seemingly solitary moments, you will receive revelations I've not spoken amid crowds. Just as Moses was called to the mountain to receive the law, Exodus 24, I am calling you higher, where revelation comes not from books but from a living encounter with the Creator. Do not fear silence or separation. They are fertile grounds for me to sow eternal seeds within you. This month, I am also placing within you new compassion. As you pass through trials, your heart will grow tender toward the pain of others. You will begin to notice what you previously overlooked. You will pause, listen, and understand not intellectually, but with your heart. Thus, do not be surprised when I draw you near those suffering, broken, or lost not to overwhelm you, but to make you an instrument of healing. I do not choose the strong to empower. I select the broken whom I can fill completely. You, dear child, are being molded into such a vessel, carrying the oil of joy into a generation that groans. Beloved child, do not underestimate small acts during this month. A comforting word, an embrace, a small gift, a prayer for a stranger. These acts hold prophetic significance. They may seem insignificant in human eyes, but are great in mine. Just as when the boy offered only 5 loaves and 2 fishes to Jesus, John 6, and I multiplied them to feed 5,000. The little you offer to me can also become miracles. This month, miracles will not emerge from grand programs, but through simple obedience. Genuine hearts will become doors for heavenly intervention. And I say this to you, let my Holy Spirit guide every decision. Do not rush. Do not rely on past experiences. I am doing something new, and you need new ears to hear, new eyes to see, and a new heart to receive. Something that was once right in a previous season may no longer be so now. Therefore, inquire of me in everything. Wait for confirmation through true peace and no mere comfort, but profound stillness beyond human reasoning. That peace will serve as the referee for your soul amid many voices vying for your attention. This November, I will imprint something permanent upon your heart, a change that cannot be reversed, a growth from which you cannot retreat. It is a time when I strengthen your foundations, fortify your faith, and affirm your identity, not based on roles or outcomes, but upon your living relationship with me. You do not need to prove anything to the world. You only need to live out what I have placed within you. And when you do, you will discover that the things you previously pursued recognition, prominence, secure fade before the radiant beauty of my presence. In November, you will begin to sense clearly the discernment occurring in every area of your life. Things previously vague will become sharply defined. What you once considered stable is now being shaken to the core. This is not random, but a sign that I am guiding you through a crucial gateway from awareness into surrender, from observation to action. Now is no longer a time to sit on the sidelines, but to step forward, no longer just to listen, but to act. And I am leading you step by step through the mist of the unknown into the brilliant light of divine confirmation. During these days, you might find yourself confronting things you previously avoided. Perhaps it is an unfinished conversation, a delayed decision, or a truth you've been unwilling to face. I do not allow these things to surface to punish you, but to highlight them because it is now time for resolution, to fully close an old chapter. Things not properly closed become burdens, while those released in trust become foundations for something new. Child, be courageous. I will never leave you to face the depths alone. I am there beside you, just as I was with Daniel's 3 friends in the fiery furnace, Daniel 3:25. My child, this month I want to teach you true courage, courage driven by emotions or circumstances, but courage born from the knowledge that I am holding your hand. You cannot rely solely on encouragement from others to sustain your heart. There will not always be someone nearby to uplift you, nor prophetic words arriving at just the right time, but my presence is always constant. You must learn to stand firm simply because you know I am there. Just as David confronted Goliath, not with sophisticated weapons, but with the certainty that I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, 1 Samuel 17:45. You too will overcome, not by your strength, but by my name. My beloved child, this is the season when I teach you to discern between the good and the anointed. Opportunities will come appearing perfect, promising success, promising recognition. Yet, just because something looks good doesn't mean it originates from me. Each step you choose this month will set off a chain of consequences, perhaps divine connections, perhaps prolonged delays. Therefore, you cannot rely merely on ordinary logic. You need the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Pray, wait, and examine carefully. Inner peace will be your confirmation. Persistent unease will serve as a warning. Don't lose the season I've specifically prepared for you because of impatience. I am also inviting you into complete honesty with yourself. There is no more time for spiritual pretense. No more space for subtle masks. Now is the time for you to come before me with a bare heart, hiding nothing, You can speak to me about your fears, your jealousy, your doubt. 7, your disappointments with me. Your honesty does not hurt me. Rather, it initiates healing. I do not require perfection from you. I only ask that you genuinely show up, truly present. Just as Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" John 21:15. Not to condemn, but to restore him after he denied him 3 times. I ask you too, to restore your identity and purpose. November will be a month when you clearly see what you should hold on to and what you need to release. Those good things that occupy too much space in your mind, I will touch them. Not because I am harsh, but because I want you to have sufficient space to receive something greater. Just as a farmer prunes branches that bear no fruit to strengthen the tree, John 15:2, I am pruning what is unfruitful in you. This process may be painful, but it will yield freedom, not for living by your own desires, but for living according to heaven's heartbeat. My child, I am calling you back to foundational principles. Prayer is not just a ritual, it is breath. Scripture is not a sacred book to display, it is daily nourishment for your soul. Praise is not reserved only for prosperous times. It is a weapon in the midst of battle. I am not inviting you to a flashy faith, but to a firm, one deeply rooted in good soil. This is the season for sowing. What you sow today in silence, in faithfulness, without immediate results, will bloom at the appointed time. Do not judge this season with natural eyes, for the most important developments are occurring unseen. My beloved child, this moment cannot be delayed any longer. November opens a gate that leads to no turning back. Those who pass through it will never remain the same. I am working profoundly within people's hearts, quietly, without fanfare, yet with great power, like an underground stream rushing beneath peaceful earth. I am moving in your life at a pace even you cannot anticipate. You might not fully perceive it, but everything you encounter in this season is preparation. And I, who see the end from the beginning, I am arranging each piece to complete your destiny's picture. Do not let my silence cause doubt. There are moments I do not speak, not because I am distant, but because I want you to learn to listen by faith, not by emotion. You won't find me in fleeting signs or continuous miracles, but in the gentle whispers deep within your heart. I don't want you living from temporary miracles, but walking in mature relationship, knowing me intimately without needing constant signs. Like Joseph, who saw no immediate signs for years in prison but remained faithful, ultimately leading him to the throne. I am teaching you steadfastness in darkness. November is the season of shifting positions. Some will be lifted, others lowered, not by merit or ability, but by heart's readiness to submit. I seek not the strong, but those who listen. The weak who lean on me will achieve what the strong and self-confident never can. I am rearranging spiritual positions and shifting key roles in the unseen realm. And you are at the heart of this process. If things feel unstable, it is a sign that I am reestablishing order. External circumstances may shake, but the foundation I set in you will be strengthened more than ever. My child, during this period, many doors will simultaneously open, while others abruptly close. Things you assumed would last may suddenly end, and people you thought temporary may become lasting pillars. I do this so you won't depend on fleshly calculations, but will learn to live sensitively to the Spirit. This month, spiritual sensitivity is crucial. Decisions cannot be based on past experiences or conventional advice alone. Everything you do must align with my current word, because one wrong step in this season could cause unnecessary delays in the next. Dear child, do not let inertia masquerade as patience hold you back. There are steps I have called you to take long ago. Yet fear and a desire for certainty have caused hesitation. Now, I say, step forward. Don't wait for perfect circumstances, as the flesh defines them, because such conditions never fully come. My chosen moment depends not on convenience but obedience. Consider Job, who lost everything yet discovered my true depths previously only known by hearsay. Job 42:5. November is your season to clearly see me as never before, not merely as a giver of blessings, but as the one present in the furnace, the one who never leaves you in adversity. You will also notice a transformation in the way you perceive yourself. I am stripping away from you the labels the world has imposed. Those old voices that once diminished you, that dimmed the brightness in your eyes, I am silencing them now. I do not call you a failure, incomplete, or not enough. I call you chosen, princes and princesses of an unshakable kingdom. I am reconstructing your image from the roots, an image crafted in my likeness, engraved on the palms of my hands, covered by an unbreakable covenant of holy blood. You will walk with your head held high, not from pride, but because you know precisely where and to whom you belong. This month, you will sense something profoundly stirred within you. A call from heaven is resonating within your heart, urging you to live authentically, powerfully, and meaningfully. I will no longer allow you to settle for small compromises or remain stagnant within a moral comfort zone that lacks spiritual vitality. I am calling you out from familiar territory into sacred places. Are you willing? Will you exchange comfort for anointing? Convenience for obedience? I seek an unwavering yes, because through this, I will shake heaven and earth to fulfill my divine purpose through you, my beloved. As you begin to grasp the true depth of this month, you will see that my actions are not merely adjustments of your circumstances, but a repositioning of your spiritual life. The movement you sense inside this urging, this restlessness, this inexplicable awakening is the echo of heaven. I am ringing a bell within your soul, awakening those parts once covered by dust of time, disappointment, and doubt. You have known me theoretically, spoken of me reverently, but now I desire you to encounter me personally as the living one who breathes life into your destiny. Perhaps you've walked too long feeling as though you're waiting on God. But the truth is, I have been waiting on you. I am ready. My plans were written before the foundations of the world. Heaven isn't delayed, but your heart needs to be liberated. There are things I placed in your heart in your earliest years' dreams, once seen as naive. Visions extinguished by criticism, failure, or the silence of those who should have recognized your potential. Yet now, I am breathing life upon the ashes of these things, and something will ignite not by human effort, but by resurrection power. This month, I am teaching you not only how to stand firm, but how to walk amidst uncertainty. I do not promise a detailed roadmap, but I promise to be a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path. Psalm 119-105. There will be paths requiring you to close your eyes and move by the voice calling deep within rather than logic alone. Those are the steps of faith, and this faith will become the evidence of things unseen. Do not fear walking on water as Peter once did, for I will not let you sink if your eyes remain fixed on me. You will begin to see my hand moving in areas you believed were closed. I will rekindle connections you thought had grown cold, reopen doors once shut by people, and even dreams you cast aside will suddenly spring back to life. Do not doubt when I exceed your expectations, for I am not confined by your understanding. When I created heaven and earth, no one advised or hindered me. When I made the blind see and the lame walk, I required no human approval. Likewise, when I choose you, no word can invalidate what I have decreed. Child, this month, recognition from heaven will mean more than recognition from people. There will be pruning in your soul, not because you have erred, but because you are called higher. My discipline is not to shame you, but to strengthen you. Like a musician trains his fingers on strings, I am training your spirit to listen, to wait, to respond when I whisper. Every confusing moment, every situation in which you feel lost, is an opportunity to learn how to recognize me amidst the chaos. You need not understand everything. You only need to walk in obedience to my voice. And this month, my voice will grow clearer to those who spend time in the secret place. My beloved child, let gratitude become deeply rooted within you, not because everything goes smoothly, but because I am always good, regardless of your circumstances. Gratitude doesn't necessarily change the situation, but it transforms how you see it. When you give thanks in the midst of storms, you declare your faith is greater than fear. When you praise me despite unanswered questions, you choose life. And when you exalt me, even before witnessing the miracle, your act of faith paves the way for my power to be revealed. This month, let praise become your primary language, and you will see heaven opening in ways that defy rational explanation. I am also preparing you for a ministry greater than you have imagined. You may feel unworthy, inadequate, or insufficiently holy. Yet, I do not choose the perfect. I choose the willing. I will provide you with conditions, environments, grace, and support needed to fulfill what I entrust to you. Do not focus on yourself. Instead, look to the one who has called you. Measure your capability not by your past, but by my presence in your present. Every limitation will break as you walk with me. Every barrier will fall as you allow me to lead. This month isn't just about personal steps. It's a sacred unveiling of what has long been ordained. My precious child, as you prepare to enter the space of November, your soul will begin to perceive what your mind cannot yet comprehend. This is not an ordinary season of life, but a convergence of divine moments. The eternal things I have established are beginning to permeate your daily experiences. If you pause to listen, you will realize you are living amid an unprecedented transition. Dear one, this is the moment of spiritual breakthrough. You have carried the promise in your heart for so long. There were times you thought you imagined it or feared you were deluding yourself. But I tell you, no. You are neither mistaken nor crazy, nor alone. It is I who planted the seed within you, watered it with your sleepless nights, nurtured it through the silence of unanswered days. And now I am causing it to grow. No one has seen this process, yet all of heaven has borne witness. A host of angels has been dispatched to guard this spiritual birth taking place within you. Perhaps the pressure feels greater than ever. Everything seems intense. Decisions feel heavy. A part of you wants to retreat, to find somewhere to hide. But beloved, this is not the time to turn back. It is the moment to press forward. The pains you feel now are not signs of death, but signs of birth. You are not falling apart. You are giving birth. These pains do not come to destroy, but to open a new life. You are not losing. You are stepping into something new, like a woman in labor, in pain, because her hour has come, yet joyfully filled once the child is born. John 16:21. Soon you will witness the fruit of your persistence. This November, you will experience unexpected shifts in your life, perhaps an abrupt ending to a relationship, job, or opportunity. Understand this clearly. Every ending under my hand marks the beginning of something new. I never permit anything to leave your life unless its eternal value is complete. If I remove something, it is because I have prepared something better. And better doesn't always arrive pleasantly. Sometimes it appears as a closed door, a sudden shock, or a heartbreaking word. Yet through it all, I am quietly, surely, lovingly at work. Do not let circumstances drown out my voice. Do not let emotion define your truth. Do not let time slip by without recognizing the sacredness of each moment. You are now in a divine season of preparation, where every step, choice, and word carries spiritual weight. Each action is like seed sown in fertile ground, destined to yield a great harvest. I have seen your quiet obedience moments when you chose silence over argument, forgiveness over retaliation, prayer over complaints. None of these actions are meaningless. They form part of the covenant I am establishing with your soul this month. My beloved child, know this: attacks from the enemy will come in this season, not because you are wrong, but because you are right. Souls on the brink of breakthrough are always the ones most targeted. Doubt will knock. Criticism will rise. It may come from strangers or from those closest to you. But remember, no one can touch what I have ordained unless you surrender it. Stand firm. Do not make a covenant with fear. Do not compromise for temporary peace, for false peace will cost you eternal glory. But faithfulness in the midst of battle will bring you an unfading crown. Guard your heart and keep it whole. Do not let small wounds accumulate into a heavy stone upon your soul. Forgive quickly, let go early, and always return to me, your source of purity and peace. Learn to rest not in the absence of battle, but in my presence amid the war. When you do, life's storms will not wear you down, but you will be renewed daily. You will not live by your own strength, but by the breath of the Holy Spirit. I will renew your strength like the eagles, Isaiah 40:31, lifting you above the storm, and no obstacle shall hinder you any longer. Do not forget this: you are not ordinary. You are set apart. You carry the mark of divine selection. You are not called to please man, but to delight the one who created you. Every word I speak this month is not merely for comfort, but for positioning. Every trial you face is not only a test, but an anointing. Every tear you shed is not simply for release, but for watering the field of destiny that you will harvest in days to come. My beloved, another door is opening before you, not one built by human hands, nor one unlocked by natural effort, but a spiritual door engraved by me into the timeline of your life before you ever drew your first breath. I did not open it in haste, nor in response to a fleeting need. I open it because the time has come. the time when all the preparations of past seasons have ripened, the time when your heart has grown deep enough to hold the treasure I am placing into your hands. This is not just another step, it is a sacred shift, a crossing from which you will never return the same. I have watched every stage of your journey, every time you fell, every time you rose. I never looked merely at your actions, but at your heart. There were moments when you thought you were weak, when you believed you had missed your chance, but I saw your faithfulness in silent choices, in prayers no one heard, in tears shed while still choosing to trust me without seeing the way forward. Those are the things the world never sees but heaven remembers. Know this, it is those hidden moments that have shaped the crown I am preparing to place upon your head in this next season. And as November enters its deepest spiritual dimension, I call you to be ready to step not just into a new assignment, but a new identity. You will begin to feel a shift in how you perceive yourself. What you once called me will no longer fit. The old definitions, the safe molds, the psychological coats you wore to face the world, I am removing them all. I do not want to repair the old versions of you. I want to make you completely new. Just as Solomon could not build the temple on an old foundation, neither can I pour new power into a soul still bound by the past. My child, do not cling to remnants of what I have already removed from your life. I do not build on ashes. I renew from the roots. This month, I will challenge the things in your life that seemed settled, not to shake you, but to deepen your foundation. If I am shaking it, it's because I am preparing to build high. You cannot carry the weight of glory on cracked ground. I may allow some things to fall apart, but this is not failure, it is mercy. For if it remained, it would block you from entering what is greater. Let me tear down what is unstable, so I can raise up what cannot be shaken. I am building you into a true temple, a dwelling place for my glory. My precious one, in the coming days, you will see some people walk away, some doors close, and some connections be severed. But I say to you, do not be quick to mourn. There are those who are placed in your journey like boats to carry you across the river. Once you've reached the other side, their purpose is fulfilled. If you hold on to what belongs only to a passing season, you will miss what I have for your next. I am the one who knows who needs to stay, who must leave, and who I am preparing to bring. Trust me in both the additions and the subtractions. I never allow randomness to shape the circle around you. Everyone I place beside you serves a purpose. You will also sense an increase in spiritual burden. It may come as a deeper hunger for prayer. It may rise as unrest when you witness someone's pain, a place drowning in darkness, or a social injustice that breaks your heart. Do not quickly dismiss those feelings. That is the Holy Spirit transferring a portion of heaven's burden to you. Just as Jeremiah felt fire shut up in his bones and could not remain silent, Jeremiah 20:9, you too will feel something within demanding response. I am awakening your calling, not a title, but an anointing. You do not need man's ordination to be sent by me. I am the one who calls and empowers. Do not worry if you don't yet see the full picture. You don't need a perfect plan, you only need a yielded heart. What I begin, I will complete. When you do your part by stepping forward, I will do my part by making the way. When you say, yes, I will place in your hands everything needed for the task. Resources, partners, and supernatural doors will align when you choose to walk by faith. You are not called to wait until you are ready. For it is in beginning that I make you ready. And this month, you are not just moving, you are being sent. My beloved child, as you step deeper into the door I have just opened within your soul, you will begin to understand that all I do is not merely aimed at outcomes, but at the transformation of your very nature. I am not simply leading you to a better place, but to a place where your soul matures, becomes steadfast, and aligns with my eternal will. You may have once longed for miracles, pleaded for deliverance, sought a quick escape, but now I am inviting you into a different depth of radical change, where you are not merely helped, but transfigured, not just healed, but commissioned, not only touched, but established. This month, I will begin to reveal to you things that you were not ready to receive before. There are truths that are not easy to embrace, yet they are necessary for growth. I will bring you face to face with the darkened places in your soul you've cleverly concealed, unnamed pain, unhealed wounds, long-standing griefs you've learned to live with as part of your identity. I do not do this to shame you, but to set you completely free, for as long as any part of you remains captive, that part cannot reflect my glory. And I, the one who loves you unconditionally, am not content with only part of your soul being free. I want all of you. In this season, the light will begin to shine into every room of your heart. Old memories will resurface. Words that once wounded, you will echo again. But, my child, do not rush to push them away. I am not bringing them up to hurt you, but so that I may enter in and heal them at the root. You once learned to forget by burying them deep. Now I want you to overcome by bringing them into my light. When you bring these things before me, I will not only wipe away your tears, I will lift the burden you've carried for so many years. I will name what has never been named, and I will give you a new namon that comes from heaven. Do not be surprised if you feel empty on some days. This is not because I have withdrawn from you. It is because I am cleansing your spirit of old remnants. Just as a farmer must pull weeds, till the soil, and prepare the ground before sowing seed, so I am doing the same within you. Emptiness is not lack, it is preparation. When I remove the old, it is to make room for the new. And when the soil of your heart is softened, I will plant within it words that cannot be shaken, words that will bear fruit in abundance. Not by your striving, but because I am faithful. This month will be a time in which I test your consecration. I do not test to judge, but to refine. There will be things I ask you to let go of, not because they are wrong, but because they no longer fit the new role I am calling you into. I will call you out of safe places, old patterns of thinking, even relationships that seem harmless, not because they are bad, but because they cannot go with you to the next realm of glory. I am removing everything that stifles the breath of the Spirit. Whatever does not bear fruit in this new season will be pruned away. And if you obey, you will find yourself lighter, purer, and with greater clarity in all things. You will begin to sense a shift in the rhythm of your life. What once fascinated you will lose its grip. The activities that used to thrill you will begin to fade. That is because I am changing your spiritual appetite. I am making you hungry for things above. I am placing within you a longing for deeper prayer, a love for my word, and an unquenchable passion for my presence. If you respond to this hunger with action, setting aside time, closing the door to the world. Opening your heart before Methan, I will pour out upon you things beyond understanding. I will make you a living temple, where my presence will dwell, not just for a moment, but in every breath. My child, this month is also a month of discernment. Not every voice comes from me. There will be confusion. There will be false lights that closely resemble the true. Opportunities will arise that seem heavenly but are cleverly disguised snares. Do not act based on appearances. Do not decide based on emotion. Ask me. Let true peace within you be the umpire. Learn to recognize me not only through what I say, but through my silence. If you keep your heart simple, I will not let you be deceived. I am your shepherd, and my sheep hear my voice. John 10:27. Know this month is not just a passage of time. It is a divine turntable of destiny. One right decision could launch you into a new orbit. One simple response could open a door no one can shut. One small act of obedience could unlock a flow of grace you've never known. Do not underestimate any moment. I am present in both the great and the small. I move in thunder and in whispers, and I stand ready to give you what eye has not seen, ear has not heard, and heart has not imagined, for you have been chosen. You have been called, and now you are being sent. My beloved child, November is bringing you to a pivotal point where everything you have ever heard, learned, or remembered must now become a living reality in your spiritual journey. This is no longer a time for mere knowledge, but a time for application. You cannot know me through books alone, nor live off another's experience. I want you to know me through your own life, through your choices. Every step of obedience, every tear shed, and every moment you face the darkness and still choose to trust me. My child, I am inviting you into a season where faith is no longer an abstract idea, but the staff in your hand, the light upon your feet, the breath behind every decision you make. You have endured trials in seasons past and many times asked yourself, why must I walk this path? At times, you felt forgotten, as though I had turned my face away. But the truth is, I walked with you every step of the way. None of those trials came to crush you, but to prove you. There are things that can only be formed in fire. There are virtues that can only be affirmed under weight. And my dear one, your faith has been refined not to sparkle for admiration, but to withstand the day of adversity. Now, you not only know how to stand, you know how to lead. You not only keep yourself from falling, you know how to lift others up. This is the time I place more upon your shoulders, because I know you are ready. This month, I will rekindle visions that had long been forgotten. There are things I once spoke to you in the days of your early faith when your heart was still pure, untouched by the dust of the world. Those things were never canceled. They were simply held back by me for the right time. And now, as your heart has been tested, your spirit shaped, and you have learned what it means to wait, I will bring those words before you again. They will not merely be beautiful lines on paper. They will be a living mission within your soul. But you must prepare, for when vision returns, it will not come to be admired, but to demand action. My child, in the coming days, I will place you in situations where you must choose either my way or the wisdom of the flesh, not to trap you, but to teach you how to live by kingdom principles. You may be invited into something that looks easy, safe, and widely approved. But I will stir a quiet unease in your spirit. If you listen closely, you will hear me whisper, "This is not the way." And if you choose to follow the leading of the Spirit even at the cost of turning away from the appealing, I will reward you, not only in this life but also in the one to come. For every obedient choice is recorded in heaven. There will also be separation, not the kind born from conflict, but from diverging paths. Those who once walked beside you may no longer share the same call. Their dreams may no longer align with the road I am unfolding for you. And you must choose: continue together out of sentiment, or step away to enter where I await. My child, I know this will wound the heart, but there are heights that can only be reached with a lighter load. Not everyone is called into deeper places, and it is not because they are wrong, but because you are called to something different. Do not cling to what I am trying to renew. True faithfulness is not in holding on, but in obeying. Also this month, I will place on your lips words that bring liberation. You will be given wisdom from above, not born of study, but of intimacy with me. The words you speak will carry impact not only on a personal level, but in the spiritual realm. When you speak, power will follow. When you pray, walls will fall. When you encourage someone, chains will break. But because your influence will grow, I also call you to greater caution. You cannot afford careless speech. You must not harbor idle words. Every word you release will either build up or tear down. Therefore, I invite you to let your mouth become a pure stream through which I can flow untainted by flesh. My child, let your heart be strengthened by the firmness of my word. In the coming days, many things will try to pull your mind off center. News, emotions, circumstances, and the voices of others will all vie for your attention. But remember this: none of them are a lasting foundation. Only my word is the rock. When you stand on it, you will not be shaken. When you are rooted in it, no storm will uproot you. Repeat my word daily. Let it be your food, your drink, your breath, and you will see your soul will no longer thirst. Your mind will no longer tremble, for you will be standing in the unshakable place. I want you to know this: you are not merely living through a turbulent month, you are walking through a divinely appointed season of elevation. This is the moment I highlight those who have walked through the fire, kept their hearts pure, and held on to faith when nothing visible confirmed the promise. And you are one of them. You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be willing, and if you are willing, then leave the rest to me. I will go before you. I will make a way. I will act. And you will stand in awe of all I have orchestrated simply because you did not give up. My child, I am bringing you into a season where all that is hidden will be brought to light. There is no more time to delay. No more room for ambiguity between darkness and light. This is the time when the enemy can no longer hide in the gray. The forces that oppose me will be forced to reveal themselves, and you will witness the clash between kingdoms, the kingdom of truth and the kingdom of deception. But do not fear when you see darkness becoming more visible. It is not becoming stronger. It is simply running out of places to hide. I am exposing what has been concealed in the hearts of people, within organizations, and even in places that once seemed the safest. For without revelation, there can be no cleansing, and without cleansing, there can be no preparation. You cannot enter the place I have called you to while carrying old burdens. ungodly connections, and falsehoods wrapped in the appearance of goodness. That is why I will begin to uncover, and exposure is not meant to shame you, but to set you free. Truth always precedes freedom. Beloved, you will witness things that pierce your heart. People you trusted will reveal their true nature. Plans you thought were from me will show their different origin. Doors you believed were open will suddenly shut. But do not be discouraged. Do not think these things are happening to harm you. They are happening because I am leading you out of confusion, out of invisible cords that have been pulling you away from your ordained path. Disillusionment is sometimes the beginning of clarity, and clarity is the first step towards sanctification. In this season, what I seek is not perfection but honesty. I do not demand a spotless record, but I long for you to bring what is hidden into the light. When you place your concealed struggles before me, darkness loses its power over them. You do not need to cleanse yourself by your own strength. Just come near to me with a broken and contrite heart, and I will do the rest. As I spoke through the prophet Isaiah, though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow, though they are red like crimson. They shall become like wool. Isaiah 1:18. This November, I am raising up a generation not only obedient, but discerning, a generation that rejects voices not sent by Mevan when they sound sweet and persuasive. I am seeking hearts that are not easily swayed by appearances but know how to listen to my spirit. For many things will seem like truth, but will lack life. Many paths will appear right but will lead to destruction. Only those who dwell near me, who abide in my presence, will discern the subtle differences. That is why I call you now more than ever to dwell under the shadow of my wings. Let this month be a month of deep discernment. Bring every new alliance, every invitation, every prophecy, every open door before me. Do not rush. Do not step into something simply because of excitement or fear of missing out. Wisdom is never in a hurry. I never force you to make pressured decisions. If something is truly from me, it will be marked by deep peace and alignment with my word. If something unsettles your spirit, even if it seems reasonable, pause and seek me more. In the time of Moses, the Israelites followed the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. They did not move at their own discretion, but only when the cloud lifted. Likewise, I am teaching you to wait for my movement before you take action. Do not step forward under the pressure of circumstance if I have not spoken. My delays are not denials, they are shields, protecting you from missteps. If I hold you back, it is because either you are not ready, or the place I have prepared is not yet cleansed. Do not compare your journey to another's. Each has a time, a rhythm, a plan that I have ordained. When you see others advancing while you seem to stand still, do not let envy or doubt creep in. I am doing something unique in your life, and I am never late. What I have promised, I will fulfill. But everything I do happens in its appointed timino according to man's calendar. But by the clock of the kingdom, continue to purify your heart daily. Do not let the residue of bitterness, jealousy, envy, or pride accumulate. Let me shine the light of truth into every corner of your heart. For when your heart is pure, your eyes will see me more clearly. When your soul is not clouded by mixed motives, you will follow my lead with greater ease. I am raising up a people of undivided hearts. They need not be widely known. They need not carry fame. They need only to walk in quiet faithfulness. For in this season, reputation will not save anyone. Visibility does not intimidate the enemy, but silent obedience, genuine humility, and continual alertness, these are the weapons that defeat the darkness. My beloved child, when I move to purify, it is not only your heart that is sifted, but the very environment around you is also realigned. Some people will leave. Certain relationships that once seemed vital will begin to fade. Connections you thought were indispensable will suddenly break. But do not be alarmed. This is not loss, it is intervention. This is not coincidence, it is the pruning of a wise gardener. Just as the vine dresser must cut away branches that bear no fruit, so that the whole vine may thrive. I am also removing from your life whatever no longer brings life to your soul. I see the relationships that are quietly quenching the flame of my spirit within you. I see the seemingly harmless attachments that subtly dull your spiritual sensitivity, and in my love, I cannot stand idly by as you are slowly drawn backward. So I act, and when I do, you may feel lonely for a moment, but do not mistake that loneliness for abandonment. It is the necessary solitude that prepares you for something greater. In Scripture, before Joseph was lifted from the dungeon to stand before Pharaoh, he endured a season of being forgotten, separated, and misunderstood. Yet it was in that very place that he was prepared to hold a role of influence across the land. Likewise, your days of solitude are not in vain. Every tear shed in the darkness, every time you felt forsaken, I have remembered it all. And those very days are laying the foundation upon which you will stand when the unveiling comes. I do not want you to step into glory while your heart is still entangled with things that could defile it. That is why I purify. I realign your priorities. I help you discern what is truly worth keeping and what must be released. Sometimes, the greatest pain is the clearest sign that you are growing. Like the butterfly must struggle to break free from the cocoon, so must you endure pressure to strengthen your spiritual wings for flight. Do not fear when I close a door. Not every door leads to blessing. Some glitter on the outside but hide deep pits within. Some invitations sound alluring but are laced with hidden snares. I, who see ahead, know which path leads to life. So when I hold you back, trust that I am protecting something precious within you from a destruction you cannot yet see. Let your heart rest in the trust that I know best what is good and what is not. And child, in this sifting, I am also detaching you from dependence on the world. You may have become accustomed to leaning on certain resources, finances, people, social position, or reputation. But I am calling you into a deeper faith, where your sole reliance is on me. When Moses stood before the Red Sea, he had no one left to depend on. Behind him was the Egyptian army, before him, the deep waters. But it was then that I opened a way no one could have imagined. So too, I will not allow circumstances to swallow you. But I want to teach you that even when you have nothing left to hold on to, you still have me. And that is enough. Once you understand this, nothing can shake you. The greatest shifts do not begin outside, they begin within. When your heart is anchored in me, you will walk in peace no matter what the circumstance. This is the strength I am imparting to you in this season. You will be taught by my Spirit, day by day, moment by moment. I will teach you how to listen for the gentle stirrings within your heart, how to pause when needed, and how to move forward at the right time. Your spiritual sensitivity will grow as you learn to release the inner noise, clear out the clamor of anxiety, the voices of judgment, the whispers of doubt. All I need is a quiet mind to speak clearly. And when you become still before me, mysteries will begin to unfold. My child, this is also the season in which I renew your spiritual vision. You will begin to see what you've never seen before. Hear calls you once missed. I am expanding your sight beyond the present so you may see as I see. Just as the prophet Elisha prayed for his servants' eyes to be opened to see the heavenly army that surrounded them, I too will open your eyes, so you will know that you are never alone. Believe that there are heavenly hosts warring on your behalf, even when your natural eyes cannot perceive them. Remember this: isolation today is a sign of commissioning tomorrow. When you find yourself being pulled away from the crowd, it is because I am preparing you for a calling that not everyone is equipped to carry. You are not meant to be like the others. You have been set apart, and with that consecration comes the price of being misunderstood, of loneliness, and at times, rejection. But do not let your heart grow heavy in man's rejection. There is always heaven's acceptance. My beloved child, as I begin to remove from you the things that no longer align with your calling, I am at the same time lightening your soul so that it may soar higher in grace. The invisible burdens, the false expectations, the worldly concerns that once weighed your spirit down, I am untying each knot, that you may walk like Abraham, who left everything behind, not knowing where he was going, only knowing that the one who called him is faithful. My child, this is the season in which I am rebuilding the inner house of your soul. In every hidden corner where pain, wounds, and unhealed memories reside, I am entering with the light of truth. I do not come to condemn, but to heal. I do not expose the broken places in your heart to shame you, but to touch and restore. Do not fear when I bring light to the things you wish to bury, for it is in that very revealing that true freedom is born. Just as a physician must open a wound to remove the infection, I must uncover what has been repressed so that I may replace it with new life. My spirit does not dwell in darkness, only to walk away, but to drive out the night and establish the light. I do not fear the brokenness within you, for I know how to use the very pieces to create something beautiful. Like a potter reshaping a marred vessel, I am molding your soul to be worthy of a greater purpose. I am not merely preparing you for a fleeting season of change, but for a destiny, and that destiny cannot be tainted by remnants of unhealed pain. That is why I am giving you a new mind, a new heart, and a restored spirit. Nothing you have endured was in vain. Every tear you've shed has watered the field from which I will soon reap a harvest of blessing. Your weakness does not repel me, on the contrary. It is in your weakness that my power is most perfectly displayed. Believe that you are not forgotten. Believe that what's happening around you is not chaos without purpose, but a sovereign orchestration. I am the God of order, not of confusion. I am the one who coordinates all things according to my wise design. When I allow the old to dissolve, it is so that the new may be firmly established. Let me rebuild from the foundation, not just patch up the cracks. I do not desire that you merely survive, but that you live in fullness, not merely walk, but run the race in victory. In this season, I am also changing the way you see others. I am opening your eyes to see the true essence behind the masks. To discern who has been sent by me and who has come to derail you. Do not be surprised when certain people begin to drift away. for I am filtering out the influences no longer fit for your path. I do not want you entangled in emotional ties that cause you to miss the connections founded on anointing and divine calling. You will feel a new stirring within, a hunger to pray, a yearning to seek me in the Word, a desire to listen more than speak. I am training your soul to become sensitive to the spiritual flow. As you yield to this leading, you will begin to see fruit doors opening in due season. Divine appointments, heavenly confirmations arriving precisely when you need them. No longer coincidence, but a sacred chain of divine orchestration. You will begin to recognize my voice more clearly. No longer doubt. Busyness. I will whisper to your heart as you stand at the crossroads. I will guide you through major decisions with an inner peace that anchors your spirit. I will reveal things others cannot see, for you have been set apart. I do not only want to speak to you in sacred moments within the church, but in the everyday by the fire, in the streets, in the quiet of night, and in that deep fellowship. You will realize that you are no longer the person you used to be. The things that once worried you will lose their grip. The judgments that once crushed your heart will become powerless. You will stand firm amid the storm, knowing that you are anchored in the heart of an unchanging God. Your spirit will no longer sway with emotion, for you have rooted yourself in the living Word. My child, this month marks the beginning of a new journey, and though that journey will not be easy, it will be worth it. You will learn not to live by what you see or hear, but by what you believe. You will come to understand what it means to live in the world but not belong to it. And in this spiritual awakening, you will become a voice, a pilar, a witness, not merely one who is saved, but one who carries influence for my kingdom. I am calling you to be unshakable, a prayer warrior, a guardian of the faith, not for recognition, not for earthly reward, but so that my name would be exalted. You will be the place where I release my power, where I pour out my spirit, where I accomplish the purposes of heaven on earth. You will be surrounded by my light, and that very light will dispel darkness in every place you enter. Rejoice, my beloved child, for this season of testing is birthing a new person within you, stronger, wiser, and more steadfast. Do not mourn what I have taken away, for what I will give you in return shall be abundant and richly blessed. And when you look back, you will no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as one destined to overcome it, for I am with you. And if I am with you, who can be against you? My child, now is the moment to step through the final door, the door that leads to the destiny I ordained for you before the foundations of the earth were laid. Everything you have experienced in these past days was neither random nor punitive, but part of my great and wise plan. I have used every tear you shed, every whisper in the darkness, every moment you felt forgotten, to weave a glorious spiritual tapestry that is now beginning to be revealed. November is not merely a season of change, but a season of divine transfer of authority. I am shifting the hand of power over nations, shaking systems, and positioning my faithful servants in places of influence. And you, who have endured through the dark night, are part of that movement. You are not called to observe from a distance, but to participate, to contribute, and to stand among those set apart for a sovereign mission. My dear one, this is the season in which I am placing my mark upon the foreheads of the holy, just as in the book of Ezekiel, when the angel went throughout the city and marked those who mourned over the abominations among the people. Ezekiel 9-4. You have mourned. You have rejected compromise. You have guarded your heart against the spread of corruption. And now, I am sealing you, that you may be preserved in the storm that is coming upon the earth. This seal will set you apart not because you are superior to others, but because you have chosen the narrow, sacred path. I am calling you out of darkness into light, not merely light to find your way, but light to illuminate others. Like Daniel in the kingdom of Babylon, one who was not assimilated into the surrounding culture, but stood firm through loyalty to me. You too shall be given superior wisdom and supernatural ability to interpret dreams, unlock mysteries, and speak words that only the anointed may utter. Even so, be vigilant. Every elevation comes with confrontation. The enemy will not remain silent as you step into your destiny. He will attempt to distort my voice within you, divert you with enticing whispers that do not come from me. You must learn to discern truth from deception, my voice from all others. It is in the season of promotion that you will most need humility. It is in the hour of exaltation that you must most fear me. You will be called to speak words that are not easy to hear, but that must be declared. The message you carry is not meant to please the ears of man, but to awaken sleeping souls. At times, you will feel alone, as Jeremiah did among a rebellious people. But remember, I am a fortress around you. Do not fear rejection, for even my only son was rejected by his own. Do not tremble before opposition, for if I have chosen you, none can remove you from the place I have appointed. You shall see miracles, but not in the old way, not merely as a recipient of the miraculous, but as one who administers it, not only as a petitioner, but as one who declares, with heavenly authority, what shall be. When you open your mouth in faith, I will back you with supernatural power. When you stand in the gap to intercede, I will use your prayers like arrows shot into the deepest darkness, breaking chains and shattering the enemy's schemes. Just as Moses was called to stand before Pharaoh and deliver my commands, you too will be placed before the pharaohs of this age, those in power, unjust systems, voices of compromise, and I will grant you a tongue that cannot be refuted. I will place my words in your mouth, as I did with Jeremiah, to build and to tear down, to plant and to uproot, according to the purposes of heaven. My child, this month is your time to emerge from hiding. There is no longer room to retreat into the familiar, more excuse to delay your steps. This is the season of unveiling. I have trained you in secret, and now I am calling you to the battlefield. Do not wait until you feel ready. For readiness is not something you feel, it is something I declare. If I have called you, I will also equip you. If I have sent you, I will walk beside you. Every step you take this month, I will use as a footprint marking the land as mine. Wherever your foot treads in obedience, that place shall become holy ground. You are not walking alone. Heavenly hosts are being mobilized. Warriors in the unseen realm are encircling you, and my Spirit, the Comforter, the Guide, the Empowerer, dwells within you and shall never depart. This is the time to rise not with haste, but with certainty, not with pride, but with reverence, not for show, but for mission. Your time has come. You have been anointed, and you have been called. This month does not merely mark a change in time, but a turning point in your destiny. Beloved child, it is time I unveil to you what you have only faintly sensed within your spirit, that this November marks the beginning of a new covenant between me and those who walk in obedience. This is not a covenant written on tablets of stone, nor something you have merely heard from others' teachings. It is a sacred sealing within your soul, where I etch my promises upon the tablet of your heart with the finger of my spirit. This covenant is not old, nor rooted in repeated traditions, but a living covenant, sealed with the blood of the Lamb and executed by my power. In this covenant, I promise to be your God, and you shall be mine, set apart among the nations. I promise to care for you, to protect you, and to guide you through the wilderness of this age. But you too must keep your part in this covenanto, walk in the light, to guard your heart in purity, and to allow nothing worldly to disrupt the deep communion between us. November is the season in which I reestablish sacred boundaries. There are things you have tolerated in your here-told wounds, small-minded thoughts, unhealed pain that I now require you to fully release. For the new covenant cannot be housed within the legacy of the old. New wine must not be poured into old wineskins. Mark 2:22. If you are to receive the new, you must allow me to reshape you from the way you think to how you respond, from what you perceive as right to what I affirm as truth. I am not seeking perfect souls, but surrendered ones. I do not expect you never to stumble, but I do expect you to return, to repent, to remain tender before my voice. Surrender is more precious to me than talent. A soft heart before me will go farther than the sharpest mind. For the wisdom of the world leads only to pride, but surrender leads you to the place where I can mold you into my image. Do you not know? When you give me your whole heart, I will begin to reveal the hidden things within you that even you did not know were there, not to shame you, but to heal you, not to bring you low, but to lift you up in truth. The new covenant allows no pretense. This is the hour when veils must be removed. You can no longer pretend to be strong when your heart is breaking. Come to me as you are with your raw truth and your unhealed fractures. It is in that place I will lay my hand upon you and say, you are made new. Oh, my child, in this season, I will teach you how to walk in spiritual authority, not through shouting, but through stillness, not by force, but by presence. I will show you that the truly strong are not those who cling tightly, but those who know how to release. According to my leading, true authority does not come from forcing circumstances to change, but from holding my word firmly in your heart and standing unshaken through every storm, like a tree planted by streams of water. Psalm 1-3. This covenant does not come with fanfare. It is not announced in the crowd. It is whispered into your ear in the quiet hours of prayer. It is sealed with sincere tears, with forgiveness for those who hurt you, and with the letting go of things once thought essential but now revealed to be burdens. When you say yes to me in the small things, you are making way for the great things I will entrust to you. This November, I will expose both your own heart and the hearts of others. Relationships not built on truth will begin to shake. Do not fear the cracks, for they are necessary to separate the genuine from the false. When I bring light into hidden corners, there will be confusion, even departure. But I never allow anything to leave that is truly meant to stay. If something breaks, let it break. If someone walks away, let them go. I am clearing space for what is more worthy. You are not alone in this covenant. I am calling forth a generation at once, those who are also entering into new relationship with me. Just as in the days of Elijah, when he believed he was the only one faithful, yet I had preserved 7,000 who had not bowed to idols. 1 Kings 19:18. Know that you have spiritual brothers and sisters around the world. They too are listening for my voice, rising up, obeying, and preparing for the glorious hour ahead. This month, engrave this upon your heart. My covenant is eternal. It is not bound by time, not swayed by circumstance, and never withdrawn. Even if you have stumbled, lost your way, or doubted yourself, I have not broken my promise. I am still waiting for you at the intersection of your weakness and my infinite mercy. Enter this season as you would step into holy ground with reverence, with honesty, and with hands lifted in surrender. This is sacred space where a new covenant will bear fruit, where my word will become reality, and where you will know, more clearly than ever, that I am your God and you are my beloved. Now, having walked the journey of preparation, refinement, and covenant establishment, I say to you, it is time to rise, no longer hiding in the shadows, no longer trembling because of the past, no longer waiting for the perfect moment. That moment is now. This is the present tense of heaven, the time I send you into the world as light that shines, as salt that brings sweetness and preservation to souls decaying in darkness. You are not made to live an average life. No, I have planted within you a great Sida calling that exceeds personal limits, surpasses societal molds, and overcomes the fear weighing heavily upon humanity. I have entrusted you with the ability to carry my word to places that have never heard it, to bring hope to shattered hearts, and to rekindle the flame of faith in souls that seemed beyond recovery. Now, having been refined, having been led through seasons of testing, you are no longer who you once were. You are one reborn in light and understanding. Your eyes have seen what many have longed to see. Your ears have heard my voice that many have yearned for. Your soul has tasted a peace the world cannot give and cannot take away. And because of that, I say, go, reveal what you have received, share what you have learned, and carry out what you've been equipped to do. This November is not just a season of transition, it is the moment your mission ascends. I am sending you into a world gripped by confusion, but I do not send you empty-handed. I have given you mighty spiritual weapons to demolish strongholds. I have placed my word in your hands as a sharp sword, dividing soul and spirit, discerning thoughts and intentions of the heart. I have anointed your mouth so that every word you speak will sow life, set captives free, and awaken those who sleep. My child, do not measure yourself by old standards. Do not let the opinions of others define your worth. You do not need the approval of the crowd, for you have already been chosen by me. And when I choose someone, I also equip them with everything they need to fulfill their calling. Just as Moses was given a staff, as Joshua was given courage, as Jeremiah was given words to uproot and to build, as Daniel was given wisdom in the courts of kings, so too I have anointed you with the portion required for the task I have assigned to you. My child, I have not only called you to speak, I have called you to live as a living testimony of my presence, so that anyone who encounters you, even for a fleeting moment, will sense the fragrance of the heavenly kingdom. They will feel the difference, a strange and holy peace, an unshockable hope, an unconditional love, and it is through these very things that their hearts will open to me. Remember, this is not a temporary assignment. This is destiny. This is your portion in the eternal plan I prepared before the foundations of the world. And nothing, no circumstance, no failure, no rejection can alter what I have spoken. Be steadfast, for there are seasons of sowing without immediate harvest. There are prayers you have offered with no visible answer yet, but do not lose heart, for I have declared, nothing done in my name is ever in vain. My child, I have set you as a watchman on the wall, Ezekiel 3:17. When you see danger approaching, speak out. When you see the lost, call them home. When you see the brokenhearted, embrace them with the comfort I have given you. For in an age where many live without purpose, you are the bearer of a sacred reminder that they were created for a reason. This November will mark an awakening. Many will come to Usum in desperation, some in doubt, some in anger. Do not respond in the flesh, but let my Spirit guide your every word, every action, for small moments will become turning points in their lives. What seem like random encounters will prove to be divine appointments, orchestrated by heaven. And finally, rejoice, for you have endured, you have stood your ground, you have kept the faith. You are no longer just a seed, you have begun to sprout. And I, the one who plants and nurtures, will cause you to bear fruit in due season. When the world looks at you, they will see more than just a person. They will see my glory revealed through you. I am with you. I go before you. I stand behind you. I cover you with everlasting love, and every blessing of heaven will be poured out in its appointed time. Do not fear. Do not doubt. Do not hesitate, for I am faithful, and I will complete every good work I have begun in you. Thank you for listening to today's message. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we can continue to receive the living word together. Build a strong foundation of faith and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.